do?
She's alive. She's alive.
She's alive. Let me tell you the truth right now.
In the quiet town of Dickinson, Texas, the summer of 1990 held the promise of endless days of play and adventure for 8-year-old Jennifer Schuett. But on the night of August 10th, Jennifer's life was shattered by a horrific crime that would change her forever. Her parents were caring, and she was loved. Little did she know that one night would bring unimaginable terror. Jennifer Schuett. I was just a normal kid. I loved playing outside, being with my friends, and I felt safe in my small town, at the bosom of my mother. I was too little to understand that one night would change everything and impact my life forever. The abduction. On a warm August night, Jennifer Schuett was asleep in her bed, blissfully unaware of the nightmare about to unfold. In the middle of the night, a stranger entered her room, abducted her, and drove her to a secluded field. At that moment, she was unaware of why this man was taking her away from her cozy bed, her house, and her parents. She didn't know the man's evil and heinous intentions, who had falsely told her he was a police officer when she asked why he was taking her.
I remember was waking up in the arms of a man that I didn't know. He was running with me, carrying me down the sidewalk.
And that's where the real horror began. Those moments are still shattering and traumatizing. The man, later identified as Dennis Bradford, brutally assaulted Jennifer, physically, mentally, and sexually. He then slit her throat and left her for dead on an anthill. For him, it was a pleasure to see Jennifer in pain, with lots of blood and a choked life where she was struggling for survival. But Jennifer, against all odds, survived the rescue. As the sun rose, Jennifer lay in the field, her throat slashed so deeply that she couldn't speak. She was in immense pain. Her survival was nothing short of miraculous. It was nearly 12 hours later that children playing in the field discovered Jennifer. She was rushed to the hospital, where doctors, traumatized by her critical condition, fought to save her life. Dr. John Smith, emergency surgeon. Her injuries were severe. She couldn't speak because her vocal cords were damaged. It was a miracle she was alive. Jennifer Schuett. I remember the paramedics arriving and trying to keep me calm. I couldn't talk, but I was determined to stay awake and alert. I later learned that my parents were so disturbed by the state they found me in. They couldn't believe this had happened to me. The investigation. Despite her injuries, Jennifer's will to survive and help catch her attacker was evident. She communicated with police through writing and gestures, providing a detailed description of her assailant. She even helped the artist create a sketch of the criminal that was astonishingly accurate. It was truly remarkable that even in such a dire situation, she showed incredible bravery and fought for justice. Detective Sarah Jones, investigator. Jennifer's memory was incredible. She described her attacker in detail, giving us crucial information that we hoped would lead to his capture. Jennifer Schuett. I wanted to help the police as much as I could. I knew that finding the man who did this to me was the only way to stop him from hurting anyone else. Despite Jennifer's detailed description, the investigation initially yielded few leads. The case went cold, but Jennifer never gave up hope. I always believed that one day my attacker would be caught. I had to believe that for my own sanity and for the other victims out there. The breakthrough. Jennifer's determination was unyielding. She continued to provide updates to the police and stayed informed about the progress of her case. In 2008, advances in DNA technology provided the breakthrough Jennifer had been waiting for. DNA evidence from the assault was re-examined, leading to a match in the national database thanks to the persistent efforts of the police and FBI agents who never gave up on Jennifer's case. Detective Sarah Jones. When we got the match, it was an incredible moment. We had a name, Dennis Bradford. Bradford, who had a history of violent crimes, had committed similar offenses against 2 other victims. He was earlier arrested for other heinous crimes. And when this case was reopened, he was arrested and charged with the abduction and assault of Jennifer Schuett. The arrest and trial. The arrest of Dennis Bradford brought a sense of relief and closure to Jennifer and her family. Bradford was extradited to Texas to face charges. Jennifer Schuett, facing him in court, was one of the hardest things I've ever done, but I knew I had to do it. During the trial, Jennifer faced her attacker with remarkable strength and courage, recounting the events of that fateful night. Detective Sarah Jones. Jennifer's testimony was powerful. She recounted everything in such detail. It was clear how deeply she had been affected by this crime. Dennis Bradford was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The verdict was a significant victory for Jennifer, who had waited 20 years for justice. Later, Bradford was found dead in his jail cell, having hanged himself. FBI sources indicated he faced some psychological issues, and the shame of Jennifer's case might have contributed to his suicide. During interrogation, Bradford was seen crying when he learned that the girl he thought he had murdered was still alive.
She's alive.
Yes,
She's alive.
she's alive. You want to tell the truth right now?
Jennifer Schuett. The verdict was a victory, not just for me, but for everyone who believed in justice. It was a moment of closure that I had waited 20 years for. Life after the trial. Jennifer's story did not end with the trial. She became an advocate for victims of violent crimes, raising awareness about the importance of DNA testing in solving cold cases. Jennifer Schuett. I wanted to use my experience to help others. If my story could bring attention to the need for advancements in forensic technology, then it was worth it. Jennifer's advocacy work has inspired many and brought attention to the need for continued advancements in forensic technology. Following the trial, Jennifer continued to rebuild her life. She pursued her education, became a teacher, and started a family. Despite being told it was impossible for her to conceive due to the assault, she became pregnant 3 years later, sharing this beautiful moment of life fulfillment despite her past trauma. Her resilience and determination to overcome her trauma have been a source of inspiration to many victims in America. Jennifer Schuett. I want people to know that there is life after trauma. You can find happiness again. The road to recovery. Jennifer's journey to recovery was long and arduous. The physical scars were a constant reminder of that horrific night, but the emotional scars were even more challenging to heal. Therapy and support from her family and friends played a crucial role in her recovery. Therapist. Jennifer showed incredible resilience. Despite the trauma she experienced, she was determined to regain control of her life. Her strength and determination were truly inspiring. Jennifer Schuett. There were days when I felt overwhelmed by the memories and the pain. But I knew that I had to keep going, not just for myself, but for everyone who supported me and believed in me. Jennifer's story of survival and resilience has touched the hearts of many. Her courage and determination have inspired others to come forward and share their stories of survival, advocacy, and awareness. Jennifer's advocacy work has had a profound impact on the fight against violent crimes. She has worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the importance of DNA testing and the need for advancements in forensic technology. Her efforts have led to changes in policies and increased support for victims of violent crimes. Jennifer Schuett. I believe that sharing my story can make a difference. If my experience can help prevent even one person from experiencing what I went through, then it is worth it. Jennifer's work has also highlighted the importance of support for survivors of violent crimes. She has advocated for increased resources and support for victims, ensuring that they have the help they need to rebuild their lives, inspiring others. Jennifer's story has inspired countless people around the world. Her message of hope and resilience has resonated with many, providing them with the strength to overcome their own challenges.